What could be better than being in Narragansett Bay, Newport, Rhode Island this time of the year? Oysters, jazz festival, and most importantly, Valentine 2021 Sunreef 60. My name is Wiley Sharp with Catamaran Central, and I cannot wait to take you for a tour on board this spectacular yacht today. I'll never forget when Sunreef launched the 60. My first time aboard was the Cannes Boat Show in 2018, and I was immediately blown away before I even stepped on board the boat at the overall dimensions. With a length overall of just over 60 feet, a beam of 33.5 feet, the overall volume is downright impressive. One of the most rewarding experiences I've personally had in my career as a yacht sales broker was helping a client build a brand new Sunreef 60, and that really gave me a sense of what the shipyard's capable of, where they're using old world craftsmanship as well as some of the latest cutting edge technology in their designs. Of all the areas I cannot wait to share with you on board Valentine today, the Flybridge is bar none my favorite place on the Sunreef 60. When you're up here, it's easy to forget that you're on a 60-foot catamaran and not a 70 or even a 75-foot catamaran because of the dimensions up here on the Flybridge. So from an ownership experience or just time on board experience, there are 5 things that make this an excellent Flybridge in my opinion. The first is over here on my right side, this large L-shaped settee for alfresco dining. I can't think of a better place to have coffee in the morning or canapes in the evening after a long day on the water. The second thing that I absolutely love from a guest experience on board Valentine is the upgraded composite hardtop, which was a very expensive factory option, which not only gives you all-weather protection, but I love the tinted windows above because I'm still in the shade, yet I can see everything going around, making it feel exceptionally open here on the Flybridge. The third thing is the wet bar here, which makes meal service and drink service absolutely a breeze for the crew, or if you just feel like getting up and grabbing yourself a soda or a beer, it's right here, as well as an ice maker too. The fourth thing that makes this an excellent Flybridge from a guest standpoint are the 2 day beds forward of the Flybridge, which puts you right in the middle of all of the sailing action while on board Valentine. And then the fifth and final item that makes this an excellent Flybridge from an ownership experience is the JL Audio Stereo, which is found not only up here on the Flybridge, but throughout the vessel. A big part of having a good ownership experience on board a boat like Valentine is giving the crew the tools they need to efficiently deliver and meet your expectations on board. And this Flybridge has a number of features that make it very easy for the crew to deliver that 5-star service, even the most discerning owners looking for. First, it starts off with these gradual steps coming up from the bridge deck to the Flybridge. Obviously, those benefit you as the owner with just ease of access, but it's very safe and secure for them to carry boxes of food up here, trays, service, etc., etc. We already briefly mentioned the wet bar, but I cannot overstate the fact how nice it is from a guest service experience to have not only an ice maker, a refrigerator, but also storage all the way aft in the wet bar, as well as a sink tucked away here. The third thing that makes this a great Flybridge from a crew perspective is having all of your sail control lines led here to the base of the factory carbon fiber mast. This makes sail control so much easier without having to run all over Kingdom Come to accomplish the most simple maneuvers. Your reefing takes place here, raising and dropping the sails. Just everything you need to do involving sailing can be done from the forward portion of this Flybridge, meaning the crew has plenty of space to do their work without getting in the way of the owners. She's truly a push-button sailing boat, and we'll look at that a little bit at the helm. She has 4 Harken electric winches here, as well as a powered traveler, and all of the foresail furlers are electric as well. And the fourth and arguably most important thing from a crew standpoint is this starboard forward helm here on the Flybridge, which just gives you a commanding view not only forward, but also of your sight lines on the starboard side. Here at the helm station, not only do we have rocker switches for all of your lights out here, but we also have controls for the traveler, for your electric winches, the Volvo engine controls, throttles, bow thruster, as well as your full Raymarine suite of electronics, which includes AIS and radar. I've personally driven Sunreef 60s in the past, And for as large of a boat as she is with as much windage, she's a surprisingly easy boat for close quarter maneuvering because of her beam with these large D3 Volvo 150s, as well as a side powered bow thruster. And I think one thing everybody will agree on is Sunreef just builds a sexy boat. And this helm arrangement, for me, I find to be incredibly beautiful with the carbon fiber helm, the all black console, and I just love that the black support for the Bimini hardtop is adjacent to the helm, just really tying everything in together. Let's go ahead and make our way down to another impressive spot on board Valentine, the cockpit. Making our way into the cockpit, there's a lot to cover here, not only from an ownership experience and what you can expect your time on board Valentine to be like, but also from a crew standpoint on how they effectively deliver that. We're going to start off by talking about some of the guest experiential areas in this cockpit before diving into the technical spaces. Before we jump into the cockpit, I just want to touch on the hydraulic swim platform, which makes it very easy to deploy and retrieve the Czar tender. It also can drop down to water level to set up the ultimate beach club experience for when you're at those beautiful Caribbean anchorages. And if part of your ownership journey includes extensive scuba diving, this hydraulic platform is the perfect launch pad for those aquatic adventures. Centerline running fore and aft, we have the centerpiece of the cockpit, which is this beautiful teak table with stainless banding around it, where right now they've got it set for 6. You could comfortably sit 8 people at this table for meal service. Starboard aft on the ceiling of the cockpit, we have one of the more unique features found on the Sunreef 60, which is the rain shower. The perfect place to freshen up after taking a dip in the salt water. And here, rounding out the guest spaces in the cockpit, is my personal favorite area, this large oversized daybed, which is the perfect place to take a break from the sun. Big part of a well-functioning cockpit is efficient use of the crew's time. And on board Valentine, that's very easily accomplished by having a bosun locker here on the starboard side, as well as tons of underfoot storage for filters, fuel, lines, water toys, everything else you need to keep this boat operating at its peak performance. Over on the port side forward, we have access to the crew bunk room. This particular boat operates with a crew of 3, so we have 2 crew members in here, as well as a port forepeak with its own ensuite head. Just after the stairs from the Flybridge, we have the second wet bar on board Valentine, which also is equipped with a drink refrigerator, ice maker, and integrated sink with a filtered water dispenser. Just aft in the cockpit, we have access to both mechanical spaces. This boat is well optioned from the factory. It's got the dual generator setup, water maker, air conditioning, chillers, as well as the upgraded Volvo D3 150 motors. All of this seamlessly tying into the electrical system, which are lithium house bank batteries. From the cockpit to the salon, the first thing you'll see is a zero threshold entry, which is a hallmark feature of the Sunreef 60, and one of the first boats that they built and designed to have that feature. It creates a natural flow from the exterior living space to the interior living space. Over on the starboard side, we've got a dining area for up to 8. This is kind of unique and unusual to have 3 dedicated dining spaces on board a boat in this size range that can accommodate all of the guests at one time. We've also got storage above the salon seating area, as well as a wine cooler and coffee station forward of that. But there's no real reason to have this kind of a dining space, both interior and exterior on the boat, without a commercial grade galley. And on board Valentine, we have that. So this boat is equipped with a full set of Bosch appliances, including upright freezer, refrigerator, convection oven, induction cooktop, dishwasher, as well as a traditional oven. These appliances, plus all of the storage in this galley, gives the chef all of the tools needed to complete the most impressive culinary art one can expect on a boat. One of the things that Sunreef really got right in this salon was creating a natural connection with the exterior of the boat while still in the salon. I mean, just look around us right now. We're sitting out here at anchor, and while we're inside, I still feel every bit connected with my environment. So the lower forward-facing nav station is the brains of this boat. This is not only where you control all the systems with the Wagyu multiplex system, You've also got a Raymarine repeater for your electronics package, as well as Volvo engine controls here at the lower station. Starboard of those engine controls, we still have the functionality of steering courtesy of a Raymarine autopilot control head. Now underneath this panel, we've got the generator remote starts, water maker remote start, we've got the Furuno Navnet, which has been replaced by Starlink, and then all the way center line, we've got the bilge alarms and bilge pump controls. Let's go ahead and check out the forward cockpit as well as the foredeck area. This is a Ford cockpit. I know we've talked about them a lot on a lot of different makes and models, but this one is actually fully recessed in the deck, giving you complete protection while you sit up here underway or at anchor. Up here in the Ford cockpit, not only do we have this nice large L-shaped settee, but we also have day beds outboard on both sides with ratcheting backs, as well as storage underneath the settee over on the port side. Just moving forward of the cockpit here, we get up to the foredeck area, which is a traditional split trampoline arrangement. You can see full teak decking underfoot. Just after the trampoline, we have 4 oversized day lockers. One of them holds the anchor windlass and chain, as well as plenty of water sports storage on either side. Port forward, we have the 3rd crew berth, which is an ensuite cabin, normally utilized by the captain and the current crew accommodations. As I mentioned, we've got these dual trampolines with the boat's logo that really just pop out and stand. And then right behind where I'm sitting, we've got the first of 3 rollers. We have the staysail, the Genoa, and then the Gennaker, which is currently not on board, off at the loft getting its annual service completed. And in the starboard bow, we have the 2nd forepeak, which is currently utilized as storage. We're gonna go ahead and check out the 4 ensuite guest staterooms on board Valentine in the starboard aft companionway. Now, before we make our way into that stateroom, it's worth pointing out the laundry here in the landing. Now, this stateroom is a good example of the 3 guest staterooms on board Valentine, which are all more or less equal size and equally well appointed, with storage on the outboard side, storage underneath the berth, as well as a beautiful head, which is really a signature of the Sunreef range in general, is just how spa-like this space feels. Continuing to the next 2 guest staterooms, we'll go down the starboard forward companionway, and you'll see that these staterooms are pretty much identical to what we already saw starboard aft, with storage underneath the berth, as well as storage on the outboard side. Now, these vertical windows you see in both of these cabins, as well as the previous cabin, and you'll see in the master cabin, are features found across the Sunreef range going back to their early days. Making our way across the Salon, we're going to check out the owner's stateroom with its own dedicated private entry. As we make our way aft in the stateroom, we have a walk-around queen-size berth with storage beneath, as well as plenty of storage above. As you can see, storage is more than adequate in this owner's stateroom, with not only the walk-in closet, but all of the drawers on the outboard side. Now, making our way to the furthest most portion of the master stateroom, we get into the ensuite head, which you can see is just absolutely massive. I hope you guys enjoyed your time on board Valentine with us today. On behalf of Laura and myself, I just really appreciate you all tuning into Catamaran Central. For full specs and details on the boat, definitely check the description down below. If you have any questions on Valentine, please don't hesitate to reach out. There's nothing more that I would like than to bring you on board for a private tour.